a motherboard. But for us, for human beings, we don't have a motherboard. We have a brain, right? And our brain is sophisticated. This thing is millions and millions years old. We have evolved with this thing. It is actually being told that today we use less than 10% of our DNA, the one that we're conscious about. The 90+% of that is just genetic information that has been collected over the years that even today we cannot, we can't even dig deeper to understand what exactly is this genetic background that we have, and that is what makes us up. That's why our brain is super complicated. But today, I want to break it down just a bit. I won't go into the whole scientific thing, but I want us to understand just how it all operates. You know, when the brain started evolving, we started from something, it's called the reptilian brain or the basal ganglia. So this is the foundation of the brain. And then upon evolving, on it built the limbic brain, and then on brain, so that the biggest part up here, the latest evolving part, the biggest part up at you in neocortex. This is where rational thinking part of the brain happens, you know, the upper part. This is where it all happens. Now, what happens here is that if now I am dressed in a red tie, your brain registers this is red and it is a tie. And then there is a white shirt and then there is a black coat. That is all that happens here. So in this level, there is no analysis, there is no understanding, it is just the basic raw data. The brain collects data in this particular level of the brain. So what color of my, what color is my tie? Red. That's all that happens in this place. And then this goes a bit deeper, right? Now the brain wants to understand, what does red mean? If you have a red tie, what does that mean? Right? So in the second level, called the limbic brain, that is where the emotional part, the feeling part of the brain starts to happen. Now you analyze this information and you say, if he is putting on a red tie, he's smart, he looks nice, you know, that gives you a particular feeling. You attach a particular feeling towards me. I don't look ratchet, I don't look, if you find a person with a tie, you kind of feel you can trust them, they look responsible in a way, and all these feelings, we attach them to this. And this happens at this second level of the brain, not the first one. So the first one just collected information, red tie. The second level is going now to attach that information, some particular feeling, some particular emotion, so that now our body gets to understand it. And brain is because it's the same with that which is in crocodiles, with that which is in snakes. It is equal to the same, it is the same part of the brain that even these animals are contained, because we have evolved from that. Now, we as human beings have been able to create these other two levels. That's why we are able to understand the world like we do. But the reptilian brain is purely for instinct. This is purely for survival. You know, this is purely to test, is there danger? Is there not? So can we entertain this? Can we not entertain this? So for instance, if you have ever had a bad encounter with a person in a red tie, you were conned, and the guy who conned you a lot of your money had a red tie. Whenever you see a person in a red tie, you tend to feel uneasy around them. You don't easily trust them. Why? Because your brain has been communicated this information. There is a red tie. Red ties are not good. That's the second level. And then the reptilian part of the brain is to assess, is this a danger or not? So at that moment, when you see a person like that, you start checking, is my phone okay? Is my money, my wallet, are we good? What is he telling me? Does he want me to buy something? You become super attentive, because now this one has registered danger. So it is the fight or flight part of the brain. It tells you, do you fly? Do you fight? Do you entertain this or what? So that is how our brain has evolved over time. Now, this you will get to understand why I'm explaining this to you in just a moment, because the three parts get to analyze information different. So this is how a simple thought like that of the tie travel. So for instance, let's pick one example. Let's pick an example of a lady in a red dress, right? A very nice red dress. So when you see a lady in a red dress, in your brain, someone will say, wow, that dress is very nice. You look very good. Someone will be very, very, very detailed and they will say, ah, that dress looks sexy, right? But someone else would look at that lady and say, what is she trying to do? Right? These are people analyzing the same dress. So in the neocortex, in all of those brains, it has registered this is a red dress. But in different minds of people, they understand the dress in different levels. You know, someone appreciates that she has that dress. Someone thinks a message is being sent through her wearing that particular dress. Because now this is the limbic part of the brain, the emotional part of the brain is making attachment. So it depends with your history with red dresses. You know, what do you think of red dresses? So that when you see one, you have this particular interpretation that this dress is trying to mean this, and then the last thing, the information is stored and it goes to the brainstem, and now has a line. It's a red danger, or is it not? It's the same way you understand that a gun, danger. When you see a gun, run. There is no thinking about it. Like a gun, because previously you registered a gun, and then in emotions it was like, yo, I'm not comfortable in this environment. Have a gun, and then your best partner tells you, this is the moment, run. Okay, so that is how it all happens. That is how I thought travels. So how is this tied now my mindset? I have talked about the brain. How does this one tie mindset? Last time in our last discussion, we defined the mindset as a set of frames orient an individual to a particular association of expectations, right? So it is a set of frames. Last time we also talked about how do you set frames and how do you orient your mind towards these particular things. So it is a set. Okay. It is a set of frames which orient an individual to particular associations and expectations. Okay, so that is how it happens. You're good. Fantastic.
No, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Even with my all good.
Yeah, right now, yeah.
That's better. Okay, fantastic. Apologies for that. So how does this all tie into now mindset? It is a set of friends orient a person to associations and expectations, and that's what we're talking about. The associations that you have with a red dress, with a red tie, the expectations that are there, that is how your mindset is formed, right? So that is how exactly your mindset is formed. Now I want us to talk about how the brain develops. What's up? No, don't mute.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. Apologies for that. Wow. So how does this mindset develop? How does it happen? How does it grow into you? So now I assume most of you who are in this conversation today, we are in our early 20s or late 20s. We're just somewhere away in our 20s, right? So how does this affect you? So when you are 0 to 7 years, this is where the brain develops. This is where a lot of the neural pathways that operate the brain are formed. When you're young, it is even said that you can learn a number of languages with no difficulty. If a small child grows up in a neighborhood where they speak English, they speak French, they speak Luo, they speak Swahili, they speak Kalenjin, the kid will get all those languages, because at this point between 0 to 7, the brain is still young. And what the brain is saying is, hey, I need as much information as I can get, so that in later stages, I will know how to analyze these things and know which one is a danger, which one is not. So the brain at that moment, it is very young. It is taking in as much information as it needs. All right. So this is where now you find a child can learn things very easily, and we also get confused because we think these kids are not picking up things. And you find that if a kid comes from a family that struggles and has a lot of conflicts and everything, even if that kid changes a neighborhood, to an extent, that particular bit of violence still remains in them because it is what their brain picked up while they were young, right? So, just to tell you how important this stage is, how critical this stage is, in the 1970s in Stanford University, they staged an experiment. This is one of my most favorite experiments ever done on Earth. So, well, you can argue with me, but anyway, as for me, this is one of the biggest experiments ever done. So in Stanford University in the year 1970, these psychologists think, hey, can we figure something out about how a brain of a child develops and how it also affects how their later life becomes? So they pick 4 and 5 year olds, kindergarten kids, middle school, middle age up, or 4, 5 years old kids, and they bring them to a room. So the kids come in one by one and they are sat down. And when they're there, as sweet, then they used a marshmallow in the US. But let's just use an example of a sweet because it's something that kids love. So for instance, the researcher comes into a room, invites one kid, sits the kid down, and on the table places one sweet. And then the researcher tells the kid, hey, you know what? I need to rush out for a minute. I know I've left you one sweet here. But if you wait for me to come back, if you just don't eat the sweet and you wait for me to come back, I will give you another sweet and you will have two. But the sweet is yours. You can eat it if you like, you know. But if you eat it before I come back, I will not give you another sweet. You will just have that one. So I hope you have understood each other up to that point. So kids are brought in, a sweet is placed, and they are asked to wait. If they wait, they are rewarded by another sweet. If they don't, then that's all the sweet they can have. So when kids come in, some eat the sweet instantly, like other researchers that talk to EV. The kids have eaten the sweet. Some wait for long and long hours before the researcher comes, until when the researcher comes, gives them a second sweet, and that's it. But now the interesting bit in this experiment is they tracked these kids along their life to a point where they were around 40 years old. So the kids who were in this experiment, their life was tracked, and how are they performing? So because the researcher wanted to identify how does this childhood affect you and how you grow up. So they followed the kids into middle school. The kids who waited for the researcher to come back, for them to be given a second sweet, were performing better than the kids who ate the sweet instantly. And it was proportional. If the kid waited for 5 minutes and another kid waited for 10 and another one for 15, you could even track their performance. It was in line with that. If you check their discipline in school, are they doing homework? Are they being violent? Are they having clashes with other kids? It can literally tell you. So the kids who waited for long were the most disciplined. These were the kids who were active both in curricula, in class, and they were doing well all around. Well, this seemed, maybe they're still kids, you know. They followed them to high school, similar experience. They followed them to campus, similar experience. Now, when these kids are adults, the kids who waited longer, these kids had better families, less divorces, less health issues. They were earning more money than the other kids. And this just blows my mind, and I'm like, do you want to tell me that our life is determined before we were 4 or 5 years old? Because if this is the case, and this experiment has been recreated so many times, even if you go on YouTube today and you search the marshmallow experiment, you will find these experiments. They have been documented, they are there. There's a lot of literature around this particular experiment. And it just blows my mind. How is it possible that when we are 4 or 5, can actually tell someone if we are ever going to be successful? Well, there's a whole psychology behind that, which I will not dive into today, but I just wanted you to understand how important age 0 to 7 is. Well, I know you're not age 0 to 7, but sometime you'll become parents. So whatever we learn today, please also make sure you implement it then so that you give your kids a better shot, right? So, but that is what happens during that age. Now, what happens during teenage? Now, during teenage, your brain has gathered enough information and is like, you know what? Now that we have all this information, we need to pick which one applies to us, which one is relevant to us, which one do we go with, and which one do we drop. So at teenage, this is why teenagers are very curious. This is why teenagers are rebellious, because their brain is trying to sort out all this information they have picked as kids. And at teenage, if you realize, this is where the shift is drawn. Now you get the scientific kids who are good in maths and sciences, and you get the artistic kids, the kids who want to rap, to sing, to do poetry, to act drama. This separation is created at teenage, because at teenage, now the brain starts to understand exactly now which information do I want to give preference than the other. So what it does, it creates better neural pathways for that which is interested, and weaker, and the other neural pathways become weaker and weaker. That is why kids, while they are teenage, if they get addicted to a substance at teenage, it becomes very hard for them to drop it, because of particular behavior or particular whatever. That is why it is hard to drop it, because at this point, that information was overemphasized as the most important thing, right? So this is what happens at teenage. So what happens when we get to adulthood? Now you have picked all that information. At teenage, you have pruned it. And we have said that your information at 4 or 5 can literally tell you where your life is going to end up. And now at teenage, you have pruned it. You have specified now what is your passion, what do you want to do, all these things. You have done them while you are at your teenage. So what happens when you become an adult? Some scientists believe some time back, like 20 years ago, that your brain stops to grow when you're 25. That if you're 25, now it's all down here, you know? But that has now been challenged, and it has been proven that brain never stops to grow. This is because of an interesting idea called neuroplasticity. Wow. And it's a very scientific term. But you need to understand it to understand how you function to be able to have an upper hand in life, right? So stick with me, neuroplasticity. So what is neuroplasticity? Neuroplasticity is the change of neural pathways. Now, neural pathways are like what do we call them? The electrical charges that are being sent back and forth. So imagine something like this. So when you type the letter W on a computer, for it to display a W on the other side, it has something called a binary system, right? So a 1 is a 1, a 2 is a 1, 1, and all those things. I know you have done some introduction to computers somewhere in your life, so you understand this. So this is what happens. So for neuroplasticity, neural pathways, we will understand them as the binary pathway, right, of communication in our brain. So neuroplasticity is the change of the neural pathways and synapses that occur due to certain factors like behavior, like environment, like neural processes, you understand? So your behavior changes the way you operate, your environment changes you a lot. That's why you're told, show me 5 of your friends and I will show you who you are, because that's the environment you exist in. Your brain will shape in the same exact way. If you want to be a billionaire, hang out with billionaires. If you want to be a loser, do the same thing, you know? So during such changes, the brain engages in synaptic pruning. This is what I'm talking about during teenage, the synaptic pruning part. But if you want to optimize your brain, even when you're an adult, you can engage this system, the synaptic pruning. So what the pruning does, it weakens some of the neural pathways, which you don't usually use, and it strengthens some, which you usually use. So for instance, if you want to cultivate a reading habit and you don't know how to do it, the first day you read, even when you feel sleepy, it will be hard for you. But if you continue striking on that part, what the brain does, it creates that neural pathway in another quite repetitive, over and over, and the brain starts getting used to it, and it strengthens that particular neural pathway. If you do this for a long time, now it becomes easier to read, because now the brain can easily access now this part of this pathway. But then if you stop, the pathway becomes weaker and weaker and weaker, and it becomes harder for you to read, right? So if you never grew up reading, picking up a reading habit right now is going to be a bit tough. It's not impossible, it's going to be a bit tough because that neural pathway, your brain understanding content from a paper, is not really something that is used frequently. And this is how neuroplasticity works. So it strengthens those that are being used and it weakens those that are not being used. So it does this neural or synaptic pruning. It also it deletes to an extent the neutral connections that are no longer necessary or useful and strengthens the necessary ones. So this is the whole idea of neuroplasticity, and it is why I am having this talk with you today. Now, you're not 0 to 7, that already happened. If you ate your sweet the earliest, well, this is a chance to correct that. That's why I'm teaching you this, so that you can correct that. You're no longer a teenager, and maybe you prune some things that maybe you want to bring back in your life that will favor you in something. This is why I'm teaching you this course, so that you understand how can we bring these things back, right? How can we optimize our brains so that we are able to understand and set the right programming for our heads, right? So let's just take an example of now, how does this communicate? At the basic level, going back to the 0-7 period, the marshmallow experiment, why did these kids who waited longer, why did they become more successful? And why did these kids who ate the sweet instantly didn't do very well in life? Now, this is why. The kid this is the reasoning behind the kid who ate the sweet instantly. The kid thought, I have a chance to eat a sweet. I'm not really sure about the second one that they are saying. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my chances with this first one, because I won't give it time, you know. I don't know if they come back. I don't know if they don't. What if they're just joking? Now that I have this one, let me have this one. The second kid argues, I have one sweet. If I eat it now, I only have one sweet. But what if they come back and give me a second one? Now that is interesting. I'll have 2 sweets. You know, that is what that's the argument that's happening in their head. Now, how does this simple argument in your head translate into real life? So what happens when this person who ate the sweet instantly clears campus and comes out here with a degree and is like, you know what, I'm a graduate and I've studied very hard and I need a good job. I need to put on a good suit, you know, because I deserve it. I've taken my time to study. And then runs out here and then there is no job. Nothing is showing up. The same thinking, this is the only chance I have. This is the only sweet that I have. There is no other sweet coming. So what happens to the brain of the guy? The guy taps out and is like, I gave it my shot. It never worked. So it's a scam, right? The second guy comes out here and is like, wow, tumepambana. And then he does a few interviews here and nothing is coming through. What goes through his mind is like, now I have one sweet, which is my degree. I know a second sweet is coming. So what am I going to do? I'm going to wait it out until it happens. Of course, you shouldn't wait like just seated, but the second person thinks more of a possibility of another chance. But the first person thinks that is the only chance I had, and that's it. And if that chance fails, if I don't eat this sweet now, I will never have a better life. So if I don't get this job now, I will never have a better life. If I'm not employed in the office, I will never excel in life because they only think of one single chance. But the other one thinks of possibilities. They are like, I can try different things. We can try and expand these options, you know? And now those people become more successful than the others. Now you can see how important such a simple thought, a simple experiment can tell about your life. So what happens when you're heartbroken, when you're trying to build a family? This person, that's why you find people killing other people because they are apparently in love, which is toxic. Some even kill themselves because waliachwa. Kwa nini? Because their brain told them, this is the only chance you had, and it's gone. No other chance is coming, right? So what do they think? Life is over. But the other person, mtu anapigwa heartbreak 20 huku nje. But yeye ni nani? Anasukuma mpaka apate the one mwenye anahitaji. Yes, because this person, and that's why this experiment is so impactful in the lives of people. And that this communicates into the mindset that you carry when you come into life, when you are executing things in life. Are you the one chance kind of person? Kitu moja kigonga tu mwamba unatapa out, unasema zi, it was not meant for me. Oh, hizi vitu si zetu. You know, I gave it my best. No. You explore as much of a variety of options as you can. That is how you do that. Now, how do you exactly get to do this? How do you get to see yourself from this point? Now, there are two types of mindset. The kid that ate the sweet instantly is a fixed mindset kid. But the kid that waited for that long is a growth mindset kid. Now, I've introduced two terms here, which are, I know maybe you are familiar with or you're not. Fixed mindset and growth mindset. I know there are other types of mindset over and over, but they narrow down to these two. Now, this whole idea of fixed mindset and growth mindset is super big. I cannot exhaust it on this talk. I will just point it out to the basics. But if you want to help yourself, go sit down and learn more about this. Learn more about fixed mindset and growth mindset. If you lock this part, I tell you, you will change the path of your life. So what is a fixed mindset person? How does a fixed mindset person think? A fixed mindset person thinks that what happens is a direct measure of my competence. So this is what happens. Unatoka huko nje, uko na degree yako, and then no one is employing you. And then you take that as a direct measure of your competence, that I am worthless, that I cannot get hired. Your self-esteem goes low because you think that what happens out in the world is an expression of who you are. It is not. A growth mindset person believes that the situation does not define them. Bana kuna mtu amepiga hapa nje ametamak, but hajai kufa roho, na hiyo hajaimfanya feel any less of a human being, hajaimfanya feel any less of a person. When they show up to that conversation, they show up as the people. They are not there complaining of how they have done this and done that and done this. They are there optimistic and saying, you know what, I have tried this, now this is a new opportunity I want to explore. And that is the kind of person that they are, because they are growth-minded, but fixed-minded. These are people who think that their intelligence is fixed and they are smarter than everybody else. These are people who think they are better than everybody else. Wajua, mbona mimi msawa graduate nienda nikapiga MJ? Man, niaje, respect man. Is this streets as in a respect man? Anyway, so you think like that, you're fixed mindset. If you're growth mindset, you're like, well, I know I need to be given some good money because of the amount of education I've put in. But since that is not there, we can be doing something. Unajua, anaingia mjei anapiga kazi yake, huko mjei anaweka akili yake 2-3 ya shule, anafanya foreman, kidogo kidogo anakuwa contractor, kidogo kidogo anaown kampuni yake ya construction. Huyo ni so growth mindset. But when you're thinking you're too good for these things in life, you're too good to zurulisha nguo watu wauzie 2-3, you're too good to pikia watu chapati hapo nje. That is why life will never favor you if you're in this category of a fixed mindset person, because you think ukiuza hiyo chapati it reflects on who you are. No, it doesn't. It is just a reality. Like I told you in the brain part, that is the fact. Unauza chapati, that is a thought. Whatever emotion you attach to that is you to determine. You understand? It is you to determine. Does it make me think of myself any less? Does it make me think of myself as a person who is trying to exact themselves, or a person who mwenye amekaliwa na life? Unajua, the attachment that you do at the limbic system is what is going to communicate to your brain how you're going to take the next step. So the fixed mindset of a person, they never believe in effort. And this is why our eyes find to guys. They think that talent, education, intelligence, ni IQ, ni vitu walikuja nazo kwa hii dunia na wanafaa kurespectiwa kwa hizo vitu zao, you know. They never believe in, they don't think that if you need to get too good at mathematics, you need actually to do a lot of practice on mathematics. They think, you know what, I'm a mathematics guy, I just got it, you know, it just happens. So, when I respect me, me ni ule mzito wa mathematics, but English, chana English, sijui mambo yake. Because they think it's not a matter of effort. A growth mindset person is like, well, I'm good at mathematics, I'm not good at English. How do I get good at English? Because they know it takes effort. It is not a guarantee that you're good in this or that. All right? The third thing of a fixed mindset kind of a person, their worth is tied into the success. So if this person is not successful, and I know you know a lot of these people, maybe even we are some of them, but I hope you're not. Their worth is tied into their success. So if this guy gets a job, na waweza kuspin benzi yake baridi, hizi streets what? You will bow down for him. Mtabrush viatu zake, mtafagia barabara, you know these people. But the moment when I lose your job hivi, they think of themselves as losers. You will never see them in public. You will never get wanapitaka tu watu shoo. When walikuwa wanatokea na hiyo kiburi yote, inaenda inajificha yote. These people get depressed. These people even become suicidal because their worth was tied into what they had. You understand? And this is why you should not get yourself into this particular lockdown. Your worth as a person should be worthy as a person because, well, you are a person. You know? You show up, you decide what am I worth. It doesn't matter the money I have in the bank account. It doesn't matter the job I'm doing. It doesn't matter nilipata shule. Yo, kama ni to show up, una show up ukiwa what? It happened, if it happened, even a different story. But I usually reflect who I am. I usually reflect when I behave kwa life yangu. But if your game is the one that ukipata 5K, watu lazima watati. Bro, hii maisha itakulemea na sikudanganyi. Itakuwa tu tricky. Itakulemea. But if you're the guy who understands that leo niko na 5K kesho naweza kuwa sina, and una maintain your cool along the line, you know, you never behave obnoxiously. The other thing, the people with a fixed mindset have a very poor coping mechanism. Na ndio maana nimesema, when some things go bad on their side, they get depressed, they have mental health issues, and I'm not saying all mental health issues are because of this, but some of them are contributed by this. So they have very poor coping mechanisms. Msee alikuwa anafanya kila kitu poa, and then all of a sudden, wife amepotea home, and then he becomes a drunkard from I don't know where. Poor coping mechanism. When something wrong happens, instead of dealing with it, you're running away from it. You're trying to distract yourself. You're trying to do drugs here and there. You're trying to be promiscuous here and there. You're trying to do all these things just to escape this particular reality because your coping mechanism is poor. A growth mindset person understands that, well, this is a problem, it has come. What are our options? When a fixed mindset kind of person faces a reaction, they think that's them. They think that reflects to them. They think they only have one option, and the one option has gone. So what do? We deteriorate from here henceforth. But a growth mindset person says, you know what? Maybe I get the wife back. Maybe I split custody of the kids. Maybe I even get to marry another person. I don't need to destroy my life. You know, I still need to get it intact and decide what other options are on my way. The other thing, a fixed mindset kind of a person, they are constantly seeking approval. Ndio maana hawa say wakipata 3K, amtatulia, ndio muheshimu. They are seeking approval left, right, and center. Ukienda job, instead of concentrating on doing the job, you just want to see your boss. Unataka boss wako kuone hapo around. Unajua, when ndio mse unapelekea boss moshene every now and then. Ya uone tu hapo, boss asemage, na kima anakuwa mzuri, kima anakuwa dedicated. You never show up for the job to do the job. Una show up ndio uonekane as if you're doing the job. You know, you are constantly seeking approval. Wase wakikwambia, yeah, good job, you feel very high of yourself. Mse akikwambia, yeah, hapa tunge improve. Unasikia ni kama mse amekutusi. Ni kama mse amekucritique vibaya. Why? Hakuku-approve? Because your whole game is seeking approval. Yo, in this life, if that is going to be your game, just let me promise you, that's going to be miserable. Become a growth kind of mindset kind of a person. Who these things, they understand it takes effort, it takes time, right? So for me, particularly, the other day we released a video on YouTube. For me to be able to do that video the way I did it, which I know needs also some work, for me to be able to do that video the way I did it, I had to learn a lot of video editing skills, scripting, voicing, researching, all these things. I had to learn them. I didn't get them just in an instant. So if today you come and tell me, yo, every day yako ni sucks sana, unaweza piga ma transition nakaja, wana hiyo ni script gani uliandika? I'll be like, well, maybe that's a different idea. Because I'm still learning scripting, it won't affect me. Why? Because I know I'm learning and I can get good at it. But if that is where I had held all my power, like, people need to love this video, and then one person says that video is trash, that will deteriorate me. You know, I will feel bad for the rest of the day. Hata sita feel to make a second video because I'll feel judged. That is a fixed mindset kind of a person. A growth mindset is like, well, yeah, that's interesting. Nini huku like kwa hiyo video? Your script, ilikuwa refu sana, ilikuwa short sana, ulijirudia, something like that. And then I'll be like, well, kama wase wataki ikuwe mrefu hivyo, then let's do it like this. Kama wase wanataka ikuwe shorter, ama kama wase wanataka ikuwe na some comic side effects zake, let me learn how to do that. And I do that. That is growth mindset, okay? So in general, fixed mindset people are the people who we call pessimists. These are the people who see no tomorrow, who see no future, who see nothing good in anything, right? But we have optimists, which are the people who thrive. And if you actually understand now with the experiment that I've told you, if at 4 years, mtoto mwenye amepata mindset ya growth, ako set up to succeed better than mtoto amepata mindset ya fixed, I don't know what side of this you want to be in, but as for me, well, growth mindset all the way. Because I don't want to suffer in this life. And if that, only that can predict how successful you're going to be, understanding what I've taught you about neuroplasticity, that you can be able to change it, that it doesn't matter what mindset you held when you were 10 years old, that what matters is what you hold today and what you start working towards. That will change you. That will improve your life in levels that you have never seen. So like I said, this idea of fixed mindset and growth mindset is huge. We cannot be able to expressly cover it here. Well, I'm thinking around how we're going to build content on this so that we understand it better and we get to interact with it more often. But take your time. This one I will urge you. Take your time. Enda tu pale tu kwa Google. There is a book that has initiated this idea. It's by a woman professor called Carol Dweck. Carol Dweck, just if you type in that name, I don't remember the whole title, but Carol Dweck Mindset book. If you just type something like that, you will get the book online. Actually, you never download a free PDF. Read the book. Get to understand how do these things happen. Okay? So take your time and learn these things. But having said all that, having taught you all that, there's a disclaimer I need to make. Well, it is not an either-or kind of a mindset. You can find yourself, your growth mindset in some things and fixed mindset in others. So for instance, maybe in issues of career, you're very growth mindset. You don't mind people critiquing your job because you want to learn, you want to improve yourself, and you want to climb the ladder upwards. So in this place, you're flexible. You have this growth mindset and it works for you. But then when it comes to issues of relationships and family, you are fixed mindset. You never accept a critic from your child, from your wife, from anybody who wants to tell you that, yo, I've seen how you interact with your wife, you can change your thing. You never accept that because on that side, you're fixed mindset. Now, the reason I have taught you all this is because success comes from growth mindset. And if there is any faction of your life that you want for it to become successful, you must engage growth mindset. Are we good? So if it is your personal life, if it is your career life, if it is your relationship life, if it is your friends, if it is whatever function of your life, your spirituality, you have to engage this particular kind of mindset that you seek to learn every day. You know, spiritually, if you're a Christian, we often get offended when someone criticizes us. I am Catholic. When a person criticizes Catholics, kuna siku nilikuwa nashika moto vibaya sana because people out here have different opinions on how we worship. So, and they're criticizing, oh, you pray to this, you pray to this. And then I was fixed mindset about this idea, you know, and that even prevented me from understanding my own faith, from understanding how I relate with the faith that I've subscribed to. But when I started entertaining this idea, it made me curious, and I was like, now that what wanasemaga tunaomba Maria, the whole idea of jiko jina la baba na mwana na is that thing. Where did it come from? Why do we do it? And I started learning these things. And now when you say, you were saying, kwani ukiomba na huwezi kosa kufanya hiki kitu, I understand where you're coming from. I don't feel offended by that. I am like, it is only that you don't understand. And since you have never taken your time, it won't offend me. The reason me uomba rosari is because I personally understand that. But initially msee angeniambia hizi ni nini mnaomba miungu hapa, ilikuwa inanisumbua because I was fixed mindset about it. I thought they were attacking me. But they were not attacking me. They were just pointing out an issue about the religion, not even me, the religion itself. But when I became growth mindset about these issues, I was like, well, if you're a person who is actually asking genuinely, why do we do this? I will explain. If you're a person who is asking it maliciously, then I won't give you my time. But now because I got to understand these things better, my faith grew stronger and stronger, you know? So what's the difference between a Christian and a Muslim? And we often get into these huge wars, you know, which one is it, the Quran, is it the Bible? But if you're fixed mindset, msi akiongelea kitu mbaya kuhusu Bible, bana unasikia ni kama katashika. But if you actually growth mindset, you'll be like, well, it's a nice point you're pointing out. Well, there's that inconsistency. If you don't have the answer, you'll be like, let me go find out. Give me some few days and then I'll come back and give you an answer. You know, maybe I agree with you or maybe I don't agree with you. But that is a growth mindset person. They don't feel offended by things. They don't feel attacked. They understand these are things outside here that we relate with and we are people. So understand the disclaimer. You can be growth mindset in some things. You can be fixed mindset in some things. But it is upon you to understand what part of my life do I want for it to grow and apply growth mindset to that part, right? So I hope you get to learn more about growth and fixed mindset so that you know where to apply it better and better, okay? So, but here are a few questions, actually 3 questions that you can ask yourself, and right now get to see, where am I with these things? Where am I with this whole idea? As I've told you, I have like a quiz of 20 questions that you can answer, and it will tell you where you are in these particular things. And you can answer it also in terms of religion, also in terms of, yes? Oh, yes, the book for Carol Dweck, Mindset, the New Psychology for Success. Mindset, the New Psychology for Success by Carol Dweck. I'll find that book. So the first question you can ask yourself right now, what does learning mean to me? What does it mean to you to learn? Is it only the classroom work? Is it only the 1 + 1 = 2? Is it only the prepositions and all those things? No, learning is a totally different game. And learning is a matter of hitting a wall and thinking of other options. That is how you optimize your brain to learn. That Leon Kiamukai Sam, I need to find other ways of doing it. I need to find other people to teach me. I need to find some other way of approaching it, right? So how do you approach learning to you? A question that is under this is, when you get your paper, because I know some of you are in school or were in school, and you can assess how did you react at that time, and it will tell you who you are. When you get a paper, And this time you have 85%, you know, and unaangalia Chepe Wadaro wako na 76. How does that make you feel? Do you feel like you're the God right now? You're like, I've conquered this. Oh, nyinyi wote mnalemua na hesabu ndogo ndogo aje? Hata si maji hivi inawaleta juu. Is that how you feel? Or when you get the paper, you'll be like, interesting, I got 85. So it's a possibility that I can perform better. You never range yourself with other people. You actually just range your performance between how did I perform last time and how have I performed now. That is how growth mindset operates. It is never about what is the whole classroom getting. What is the average of our classroom? No, it's about last time nilikuwa na 40, leo nimepata 42. I am doing a great job. So what I need to do is next time get a 46. But if your whole mindset was, now that you have a 46, umeachia wengine unasema, si hatukuwagi machepo wa Ngoso, si hatukuwagi machepo wa Kem, Kem ni hapana, Kem ilinikataa. Unajua? Rather than thinking, now that I have a 17, how do I get a 23? You know? Maybe then you thought like that, but today, like I've told you, you can think different. You can choose to be better. You choose to analyze your own learning, not in comparison to others, in comparison to yourself. Now, I am doing these talks, and this is the fourth one that I'm doing. If you watch my first one, I didn't do it as well as I'm doing this one today. Why? I was stuttering, I was nervous, all these things were happening. But when I look at it today, maybe out here there is a speaker doing it better than I am, but when I look at it, I'm like, I'm improving. So this says, if I keep the same pace, in 3-5 years, I will hit the stage and you will not know what has landed there. Okay? But if today I just sit down and watch other speakers speaking and be like, how will I get better kunishinda? Hey, we are gonna content mingi kunishinda. I will never improve. I will never give myself a chance to become better. And the only way you learn is through mistakes. The only way you learn is through falling. The only way you learn is through making those huge errors. You understand? So how do you approach learning yourself? And what does learning mean to you? If you understand this aspect, then it will tell you where you are. You are either fixed mindset or growth mindset. And if you want to have a good life, live your dream like we always teach here, shift it. Stop comparing yourself with other people. Just have your own yardstick and say, unajuaje, I am a computer scientist, I am learning coding. So, leo nimeandika code ya line 10 imerun. Good job to me. Wacha kuangalia watu wana code a million lines. Wacha nao. Wacha hao code a million lines zao. Kesho make sure ume code some 13 more lines. The other day code some 15 more lines. The following day code some 70 more lines. And this is how you improve over and over without comparing yourself to any other person. The second question you can ask yourself, where have you grounded your identity? So what, if you ask me today, who is Kim? Where is my identity? Is my identity in the nice suit I can put on? That when you criticize this suit, I feel offended. Yeah, actually this one is courtesy of the MCA himself. Yes, thank you very much for making me look nice. So, thank you very much. So, where have I grounded my identity? Personally, for me, I ground my identity upon something called excellence, you know? And it is not excellence in the eyes that you see. It is excellence in my eyes. And this is how I am very proud of what I do. Because whenever I show up, I never leave something behind. Whenever I show up, I never leave anything on the ground. I make sure that I give it my all. That when I'm preparing for this talk, I give it my all. And this is my excellence today. So if maybe that doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. But for me, after this talk, I will speak to my team and I will tell them, you know what, today I have had the most amazing talk ever. Why? I did my research right. I did my presentation right. I spoke and I felt like I gave it my all. That's my identity. The day that I will not give it my all, that day I will feel it. And that will be a mistake on my side, which I need to improve. Now, it doesn't matter if other people comment the same, because It is not up to them. For you who you're listening to me today, you don't know how much research I have done to do this, do you? You have no idea. You don't know how many things, how many nights or stuff, books I have read to give you this content. You don't know. What you can judge is what I am giving you. And if your judgment to what I'm giving you will affect me, then that means that I don't even value the work that I put in, the hours that I sit down to prepare such. You understand? So for me, where have you grounded your identity? Where is it? Is it based on your beauty and the way you think you look? That the day you go out without a makeup is a hell for you. You know, you cannot even stand in front of people because you feel bad. That's where your identity is. Where is your identity? That is your identity in the things that you own, that if things go wrong and you lose the car and the house and all those things, that your life becomes useless? No. Your identity should be based on more important things, things of value, things that will never go away. You know, it should be based on principles, on things that will never change. Today, it doesn't matter if I'm speaking to 3 of you or if in future I'll be speaking to millions. I give it the same force. I'm never like, since I'm speaking to 3 people, that's why actually I do presentation while standing. You have gone into many Zoom meetings today, and I can bet you this is the first Zoom meeting where your speaker is standing, because I do it like I'm on a stage. I don't sit down and start talking to you seated and relaxed, because for me, that is not excellence. For them, maybe it is, but for me, that is not excellence. So I show up the way I need to show up. That is where my identity is tied. So where is yours? Where have you tied your identity? If it is in fleeting things, if comments za watu na social media post, mabeshte wako wanaolewa wanaoana huku hivi, mabeshte wako wanapiga photoshoot zenye uwezi enda, inakusumbua tu akili mpaka unafeel hata mimi next salo bana lazima nipige photoshoot bana. Kweni serious. But let's find ourselves. Let's find our identity into better things that are not fleeting. The last question, and this is a very interesting. What offends you? Now, why have I used this one? I know many would not use this question. What offends you? And the reason I use this is because offense is not given, it is taken. You can write that one down. Offense is not given, it is taken. And this is what it means. If someone offends you, maybe they meant to offend you. But if you get offended, it's not because they have offended you, it's because you have decided to be offended. And that is why you find that you can be very positive, very polite, but still kuna watu watafeel wako offended. Kwa nini? They have taken offense even when you did not mean it. Even you have taken offense from people who did not even mean it. Offense is given, not taken. So if you find yourself taking a lot of offense, ukipata watu, these people are disrespecting me, these people do not value me, these people do not address me the way I should be addressed, you have a problem. You have a problem. You should ensure that you should understand that every offense is because you have decided that it is going to be an offense. Unajua? But hakuna offense enye inaweza kupiga ukidecide si offense. If someone on the streets apita tu hivi akutusi, if you matusi itakuwa na meaning kwa life yako, because utaamua itakuwa na meaning. Na hapo ndo utajipata umegeuka umemuuliza yo ni nani unaita hivyo. But if you just assume it and shrug it and be like, kama amekuita mjinga wewe, just assume that mjinga wewe. Msema amekuja ndo amwambia yo Kim, wewe ni fala tu mbaya sana. Wewe hata unaga, wewe ufikiriaje. If I start an argument with him and I feel offended because of that thing, it is because I have taken offense. If I decide not to take the offense, I'll be like, well, you're not worth my time. We are not going to argue over this. It doesn't matter how many mjinga or missing mjinga on your side. What matters is me. If I decide not to take that offense, I will not be offended. But if I decide to take that offense, hapo katawaka tu vibaya sana. Because I have taken offense. Now, let me ask you, how many times have you found yourself on the offense side? How many times? Just how many times has someone addressed you or said something to you and you were like, "Kuna unanibebaga aje wewe?" Unajua mimi ni nani? Unajua vitu ngapi nimefanya nikusaidie wewe? Unaongea hivi. How many times have you been in that position? That is because you have taken offense, and maybe it was given, maybe it was not. But let me tell you, things happen out here. And that's why I've taught you the 3 levels of the brain. That is a pure thought. How I interpret that is upon me. That happens in the emotional level. What meaning do I assign to that name? If I assign a different meaning that missing jinga, even though mesema, then that's a different reaction. But if I choose to believe you and be like, then that has a very different reaction. You understand? So what offends you? What offends you? How many times are you offended in a day? How many times are you offended in a week? How many times do you find offense? And if you answer this question, you will get to understand, wow, I'm kind of in this fixed mindset side, or well, I'm doing well, I'm in between, or you're even in the growth side. So it is different for every person. It is not a blanket mindset. It has different connotations in your life. But it is upon you to seek excellence in every part of your life. That is why we have this company of ours called Living the Dream. And the reason we have it is because your dream is not supposed to be lived in the future. Your dream is not in 10 years' time. Your dream is today. And if today you cannot live your best life, then there is no other better life coming. You just have to enjoy this one. Ile uko nayo hii, ile una tamak, left, right, and center. Ile wenye hauna food, ile wenye things are not working, hauna rent. Usingoje kukua happy na kuenjoy life yako na kulive your dreams kuna mansion. If you don't teach your brain to enjoy life today, even when you get those things, you will be looking for other bigger things and you will never get to enjoy it. So, put yourself in a growth mindset. Enjoy every day, learn every day. Put yourself in a place where you're not offended every day. You are actually in a place that you're learning things, in a place that you're improving things. All right? And that is the end of our talk. Standing ovation. Thank you very much. I think next time you're going to talk about something about excellence and how to find excellence in life. I think we are going to talk about that. But, well, details will be coming through. For all of you who are new in here, karibuni sana, thank you very much. It is a pleasure for you to give me your time. We have a Facebook page, Living the Dream Facebook page. We have a lot of content there. Itakujenga day in, day out. We have a YouTube channel out now. We drop a video each and every Monday. For those who have watched our first episode, I really appreciate you. Did us amazing. You encouraged us. Your comments are mind-blowing and they are motivating. So we hope that we will be able to also keep that going. Next month, we see you here. Actually, next month, date 4. Date 4. Next month, date 4. Another talk. Maybe we'll talk about excellence, or I will say about that and communicate. And go on YouTube. If you have not watched our episode, go on YouTube, Living the Dream TV, and watch it and leave your comments and tell us what is happening and what do you like, what can we improve, and all this kind of mindset. And also, you have had a blast today. You can also, yes. So I'm being told if you have any questions, any comments, you never type up. Although I'm going to speak to a few of you in just a few minutes. So if you have anything to contribute to tell us so that we can grow together, Banatuambie, let us grow, let us build this brand that we reach to many people, most of our youth, to ensure that these people are not giving up, to ensure that these people have hope, to ensure that these people actually want to live one more day, a better life, and express themselves better. So Thank you very much. So if you have questions, if you have comments, asanteni sana, bring them in. Watu wangu, questions, comments ndio mingi. Nasikia mmeweka comments hivi. Unfortunately, siwezi sogea hapa since naona. Oh, kuna comments hapo. Wow. Buda. Mko mnanisikiza hapo, mko mnachat. They are enjoying it. Wendy Katweri, thank you very much. Charity Mbogwa, thank you very much. Piti Potter, sante sana. Grace Museka, shukran sana. Philip, nakuona sana. Who else do we have in the comments? Naona sana. Ati nini watu walimaliza kitambo?
Sweetie.
Sweetie. Walikula sweetie hata before nani atoke.
I remember.
Yes, we are already enjoying. There was a problem with the sound. Apologies for that. I hope now it has worked out. Yes, there was the echo, and I think that one is. Yes, the channel is amazing. This is Charity, amazing content. Already a subscriber. How you subscribe? Make sure we find you. Keep up the good job. Asante sana. We really appreciate. But they are digesting the content heavily. Wow. Wapewe maji pia inasaidia inateremsha content vizuri wajua. Asante sana. Charity Muthoni is having a blast. People are getting value. Great work. I really appreciate. Asanteni sana. Sioni maswali kumaanisha either mmeshika ama mmefloat. Tuseme ni gani? Kameshika. That is anyway. Hey, it is an amazing forum. I love it. As a high school student, I am really impressed. Mr. Kimani, to make it funny enough, you're my father's namesake. Oh,
So it's a fun
pleasure.
son.
So it's a father-son thing. This boils down to a father-son talk. Fantastic. I'm happy that you've gotten value like that. God bless you, Mr. Stephen. My daddy. Hey, daddy. Shukran sana. God bless you and your team. A fixed mindset is dangerous. Amazing job there. Wonderful insights. Oh, mnaweza fanya nilale na viatu leo na hicho cha yote. Haya, YouTube channel tunafuata amazing insight. So, Grace Muthoni. Make sure mtutafuta YouTube pale. Subscribe na check your job, share na mbeshte na imego. I envy the high school student getting this information at that age. Wow. Yeah, fantastic. Hey, now I hope after Rona we'll be able to do more of this in these high schools and help more of our young students. So the book is Mindset, the New Psychology of Success by Carol Dweck. Carol S. Dweck. You do your presentation well. Keep up. Thank you very much. It's all a matter of excellence. I'm happy that you appreciate it and you see it. Offense is not given, it is taken. Absolutely 100%. Wow, let's find our own identity to a peaceful life. Please do that. You will help yourself a big deal if you do that. Boom, the energy and wisdom in here is just on the next level. We are growing by the day. Fantastic, I'm loving this. Yes, too much wisdom, the energy, the content, the passion, good job, very insightful. I have a lot of work to do following Kinley for my 4-year-old. Fantastic. Make sure I'm enjoying your sweetie for 3 hours. I can pick up 3 hours. Where do you have of your mocha? Tuned in late, but I've enjoyed the session and learned a lot. Cheers. Sante sana. I appreciate. Sioni kama kuna maswali zimeulizwa, so I hope you understand. But let's have a few people talk to us. Come on, if you want to say something, just raise your hand. Alafu tuzungumze. Nani anataka kunisalimia? Kai, watu wanataka kunisalimia. Saseni.
Poa sana. Poa, but I'm in an easy place, so siwezi ongea sana. Nanisikia? Awesome job there. Looking great. Keep up the good job with your team. We've learned a lot. Yes, thank you.
Shukran. I'm happy you had value. I'm happy you enjoyed. Thank you very much for your time. Who else has something to say? Brian. We have Brian.
Yeah. But he's apologizing. He came late.
Oh, it's okay, Brian. It's okay. I'm happy that you found value. I'm not sure. Tumerekodi kitu.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can even find it from start to end. So we will details to come. On our Facebook page, on our YouTube page, you'll find this content there.
We have someone with email.
Faith Simiu. Yes, Faith Simiu. Yes, Faith. It's not working.
That's us. Mose.
Mose favored.
Yeah.
Mose favored. Hello, Bona Moses.
Fine. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Loud and clear.
Okay, thank you so much. Hello, Kim and the team.
Yes.
Hello to Kim and the team.
Nimekusikia Mose. Nilikuwa nimengojea hiyo.
Thank you so much, Kim, for the content and the knowledge that you're sharing to us. Ni ya maana sana. And one thing I know is that it is not for granted. And even us, every one of us here, given your 30 minutes, your 1 hour, your 1 hour, 30 minutes to come and listen to this talk today, it is impactful. And for me, I've learned that we need to have that growth mindset that I need to be told, I need to hear from others. That is not just me, myself, and I. Thank you so much.
It's not just me, myself, and I.
Keep on moving and keep on sharing that knowledge with us. And I will say this, that God bless you and God has blessed you. Thank you, even the team behind the scene.
Amen.
And Aizo.
And Aizo wanted to say something.
Mose aweke video kwanza nimuone. Please, Mose, please.
Nitaweka video after this.
Nitumia picha nikuone.
Kim. Webcam yangu ifanyi.
Tutakutana hapo nyuma ya tent.
Sawa.
That's good.
Isaac.
Yes, Kim.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
How has it been your experience today?
Experience today, I've learned a lot. And I'm
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm glad that you found value. Actually, he's correcting me. He's telling me you should affect, not infect.
Okay.
Affect, not infect. Thank you very much. Who else has something to say? Who else wants to talk to us? Mpenda. Okay, yes. Hello. Eden, hello. Hi, what's up?
Hello.
Niaje.
How are you? Hello.
I'm good. How are you?
Hello.
Yes, I am.
Hello.
Hello, yes, I'm getting you loud and clear.
Hello.
Huh?
Hello.
Wow.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
I'm not sure you're getting me.
And I'm really grateful for the forum. I'm saying
Yes.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I'm saying,
Mm-hmm. Adam, just continue. Just tell us what is it? Is your question?
Modern.
Hello.
hello,
I think.
hello.
Yes, Adam. I think there is a network challenge on your side. We can't really get you. You're getting interrupted. But before Adam fixes his network issue, do you have anybody else? Ah, Jerome cute. Jerome cute. Nyaje. I think we have a lot of network issues. But before that gets fixed, let's say hi to this one person. Come here. What could you? Wow. So this is my right hand person.
Oh, I'm here. I'm right here. Ni mimi. Mimi sijadesigniwa leo. I'm still fanya kitu next time. So today, thank you very much. We apologize for the network, but also we have learned a lot. I personally have learned to work on my language, the proactive language, where rather than saying, hey, maze, it's because yangu, I look for alternative and say, what can I do with what I have? And then I get to work on that. Thank you very much. Bella ciao.
Yeah, fantastic, fantastic. And now for the man who hired me out this suit. Don't we told you suit, you don't only leave it, you're
Wakurugenzi, kwanza sauti zenyu mmenifurahisha, mmejifikisha, mmejitokeza. Sisi tuseme nini? Jameni, mmetumaliza. Mmetumaliza. We say thank you so much. Thank you for showing up. Kudos everyone because mumeacha na yote, muka tune in, mutusikize tu. Mutusikize. Tukiongea, musikie huyo jamaa. He is the one who is called Kim Speaks. All other Kimanis are, but he's the one that speaks. So we thank God for him. And he has given us value, because value is what we work for. Value is what every one of us wants. And we thank God. Mimi ni wa ile timu ulisikia Peremende haiwezi kabo. Bwana, leave the moment. Tulishindwa kugoja Peremende tukakura, but tukaambiwa ya kwamba it is not yet over. There is something for us. There is hope for us, because we can embrace and cultivate a mind that grows. I am in for me to really cultivate the mind that grows. Thank you so much. God bless you. Wapenda sana, and tune in to Living the Dream TV pale YouTube. Na mbarikiwe sana. Karibu sana, the man who comes to kill it all.
Yeah, I'm Simon Kings, or Simon Kingori as they call me. I'm the team I deal with the session of the that comes through they have learned a lot. Of course, after this, I'm going to consult myself whether I ate my sleep or I'm still waiting. So thank you. We will not get tired of thanking you for supporting us. Your support means a lot to us. So thank you. See you next meeting.
So that is the team. But now something very interesting. Kuna watu walisema hawawezi tuonea online. They actually showed up to experience, to have, and this is how big this thing is. They showed up to experience it in person. In person. So I also have an namesake in the house today. Leo tumekuwa na audience hapa ndani. Anaitwa Kim. Kim, come say hi to people.
Hi, my name is Kim. I joined them because it's something interesting, and I've learned a lot today concerning neurotransmitters. I want to know whether
the ones zenye zimekufa zitakuja kufufuka tena, and I'm so happy. Thank you so much, Kim, for this opportunity. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the Kim. As for the neurotransmitters, they can regrow. It's a pathway that you can decide whether you want to revive it or not. It's a whole scientific thing. You can also learn for yourself about neuroplasticity. Up on internet, there's a lot of information. There's a lot of information on this. Yeah, unaweza soma. The other person we had in the house today, and it was Sam. Sam, karibu sana.
Hapo nimeambushio lakini I'm somewhere somehow. And at least we can take some the fact that okay, the idea of living each day with expecting with starting from bottom and growing or starting from just a humble start. Usiache ati kusoma na degree ati kuchote, those are just papers by the way. Huku nje life is hard. So whatever Kim said, let us embrace it. Let us believe in the power of growth. Yes, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the sound. So that's all the audience we had. Hata wewe kama unataka to join next event, pia make sure book your spot, book your slot, and then come through and we'll do this together. You will have a one-on-one experience. Oh, so I think they want us to sign out in style. Mmetuweza roho yetu, nyinyi mmetuweza. Mmetuweza roho yetu, nyinyi mmetuweza.
Mnafanya kitu. Mnafanya kitu.
Shukran sana. Thank you. We love you. Until next month on the 4th, let's do this again. Asante.